I'm recording.
Good morning, everybody. This is Matt from Chapman Guitars. We're here at the Namm Show 2017, and as you probably know by now, we have announced something that we've been working on for the last 18 months, which is 29 new models split into 2 new ranges. Me and Beer here are going to quickly run you through what we've done, basically. All of the changes are based around your comments, your feedback. We've been collating, reading, and logging everything that you guys have been saying for the last 18 months. Right, biggest change. We have a standard range and we have a pro range. The standard range is now made in Indonesia at a fantastic factory over there. The pro range is made at World Musical Instruments, the same factory we've been using for years in Korea. The idea being we wanted to standardize some different elements of the range and really kind of make a clear definition between what's really nice and affordable and what's really nice and high spec. We started with an ML1 as a really affordable basic nuts and bolts guitar that you can upgrade, that you can change, and you can modify it to make it your own, and that was priced really well originally. We really wanted to kind of stay true to that pricing model and give a really good value instrument. And then over the years, as we did more models, the Ghost Fret came out, and we kind of realised, we're like, wow, and the Rob Scallons, we realised what we could do in terms of design and really started to nail some of the elements of the designs that we felt really worked and that we really liked and that you guys said that you liked. This is that, really. In true Chapman spirit, they're all designed around playability. We've sourced parts that are really affordable. The specs are ridiculous. For the price. We've tried to reduce the amount of import parts because they're so expensive, and add multiples onto the end selling price and buying price for you guys. That's kind of the long spiel. Beer will start to run you through the ranges.
On the top we've got the Pro range, and on the bottom we've got the Standard range. So I'm going to start with the ML1 Standard Modern. This is a beautiful looking guitar. A lot of similarities in terms of the Standard and Pro come down to things like playability and sound. So with voice pickups very specifically, just to make sure that we're not compromising the tone of the guitars. Obviously the Standard range features hard lacquer finishes and bolt-on necks for the most part, and we've also used a flame maple veneer on this guitar. It's a hard tail, so it's going to be really good, sturdy for low tunings, and the pickups are voiced in sort of a modern way, so you've got that sort of ceramic extra chunk in the low end. We've got ebony fretboard, and we've rolled the edges of all the fretboards so that they feel really comfortable and feel like you've been playing them for ages straight off the bat. So it's only right to show you the ML1 traditional Standard. So obviously the immediate difference between the two is that we're using 3 single coils in the traditional, whereas the moderns have 2 humbuckers. So the things that we didn't want to compromise on are tone and sound. So things like keeping the brass saddles the same between the pros and the standards is really important to us, along with the fact that the fretboard edges have been rolled. Both guitars, well, all the guitars come in 2 different finishes. So we brought all the guitars out with 2 colours and also hard lacquer satin finishes. Something else that you've probably noticed about the Standard range is we're using fret markers now. Now, on the Pro range, we've got glow-in-the-dark side dots on the side of the fretboard. That's for all those guys that are doing live performance and gigging and touring, so you can see what's happening. Whereas we thought it was cool to have fret markers on the front of the Standard range if you happen to be teaching or learning, watching other guitarists and trying to figure stuff out. You've actually got a point of reference. So that's something that we wanted to implement in the new range, basically as a result of all your feedback, so thank you very much. Obviously there are obvious differences here in terms of spec. Traditional is supposed to be a bit more sort of pay our respects to the traditional guitars from back in the day. So this is the ML1 Pro Traditional, 3 single coil, brass saddle, maple neck and board, ash body, and it's just a beast. In fairness, what we tried to do here is make a guitar that really does sort of pay respects to those classic guitars from the late 50s and early 60s. So with that in mind, with voice pickups to suit that, and we've also added the brass saddles and just generally created a guitar with the bolt-on neck that is going to give you that sort of sound. It's going to give you that kind of snapback and playability that you'd expect. Even in the neck profile and the fretboard radius, we've just tried to recreate something that I think everyone knows and loves from back in the day. And as you can see here, I'm holding an absolutely stunning ML1 Pro Modern. This is probably one of my favourite guitars in the range, just because it's a beast. Essentially what we've got going on here is a completely three-piece through neck guitar, mahogany body, which is just, if you can see the grain just going on there, it's absolutely stunning.
That sounds colossal.
Yeah. So as a cheeky bonus to the standard range, especially in the ML1 model, we decided to bring out a baritone, which is incredibly exciting because it's the first time Chapman have manufactured baritone, and it's it's awesome. It's a 27-inch scale guitar, 24 frets, features ceramic humbuckers and a hardtail. This features an alder body, got this beautiful ash veneer so you get in the grain there. We've also featured lock-in tuners, so it doesn't matter how thick your strings are and how low you tune, you're just going to be able to have a bit more stable tuning. Ebony fretboard, and again we've rolled the edges to keep it nice and natural feeling straight off the bat with a maple neck. Generally speaking, I think it's fair to say that this thing sounds brutal, and I'm really excited to have a go on it.
ML2, most of you know the ML2, famously in our boating history, one of the earliest models. The ML2 was one of those guitars we really felt needed a bit of an uplift. It was looking a little bit tired in our opinion. We wanted to solve things like weight. That's been a huge thing in this range. Some of you guys said some of the models were a bit heavy, so as a result of that we've changed some wood species, and we've also adopted chambering across models that needed it and could do it. This is the ML2 Modern in our standard range. So similarly to the rest of the standard range, gloss finish, this is a mahogany body. We've gone with this really nice bevel on the top here, just to kind of add that bit more comfort and style really to the guitar. This features, mahogany body, flame maple top. It has 2 humbuckers. These are again specifically voiced for this model in the new Chapman pickup range. It's got a coil split, as you know, 2 volume, nice black hardware this time with some new Chapman tuners you can see here. Also, this is a 1-piece maple neck, and it has an ebony fretboard. And something that's new is inlays. We've basically decided with the ML2 it needed a little something. It needed, and it took ages. It has taken so long. Inlays are that specific thing. Some guitars are just renowned and like so specific in their inlay design. So we had to come up with something that was distinctive but original. So this is the result of this. These are kind of really slimline inlays which complement the infinity symbol on the 12th fret. This is, I think, one of the nicest guitars in this whole range. It's a beaut. This is in a finish called Fireburst, which is a satin finish with a nice, like a flame gradient here. It has a really thick, solid flame maple carved top, which you can see just at the top here. All the Pro range feature strap locks. They also feature hip shot open tuners on this guitar, which are exceptionally nice. This satin black hardware, which is common across the Pro range. Again, core split. This is probably one of the most excellent features across the ML1, ML2 and Ghost Fret models is the neck through. And you guys love the Ghost Fret so much, we thought we'd implement this on other guitars. One of the huge benefits of this is that there just isn't a neck joint to get in the way, and it's super comfortable, super good upper fret access. Another thing we've implemented on the Pro range is an ebony cap on the headstock and an ebony truss rod cover. Actually, practically, clearing with you, it's very difficult with the density and the colour of wood. When you have a flame maple top and you put a flame maple veneer or cap on the top of the headstock, it's very difficult to get the wood to match always because it varies so much. And different woods take the paint completely differently. We noticed some inconsistencies sometimes across the when we've done matching headstocks before, and it just wasn't really satisfying what we wanted the guitar to be every time. So we decided at ebony caps this time we would add a really nice touch, a really classy touch, and work well with any colour finish. So this is Fireburst, and it also comes in a colour called Dusk, which is this beauty here. Both of which I think have turned out exceptionally, and there you are, you can see the results for yourself.
Alright, ML3. So, again, carrying on from the same points as we've just already covered, like between the standard and the pro range. Let me show you. This is the ML3 Pro Traditional, and this is in a colour called Triton. Again, it's quite familiar to you guys as we've had a similar colour guitar out before, but we've just refined it. So the things that we've changed are the pickups, the voicing of the pickups, and these are meant to be a little bit closer to your classic 50s T-type guitars. We've got the brass saddles again, so it's a little bit snappier and you get better sustain. Something else that we've actually done across the range is we've refined the thickness of the bodies. So we've actually thinned the bodies out a little bit, only because in some cases, you know, without the cards on the back and so on and so forth, and the carved top, you know, we were getting a bit thick. So this is a little bit closer and snug on your body when you're playing, which is awesome. Not only that, the neck profiles we've addressed, only because it's a traditional guitar, you need a little bit more girth. And something else that I love about this is the side dot inlays, as you can see. These are glow in the dark, but they've got this beautiful little like black donut ring around the glow in the dark side dot, and I just think that's really classy. Again, we've got the open cog hip shot tuners, which may not be a traditional feature, but in some cases it just looks really good, and I think in this case it looks awesome. String through construction, two-piece ash body, bolt on, maple neck, maple fretboard, and you know, it's just awesome. Three-way toggle switch, got the lipstick in the neck. The whole thing is just very much a traditional spec guitar. And just to show you another colour that we all really love, this is Shadow, and I think this is probably one of the nicest colours in the range for me personally. It's this beautiful, like, just three-dimensional grading going on there with the colour and the burst, and we've repeated the same thing on the back, which it's just beautiful. Really nice. We got this lovely little carve on the back here. So as you guys know, with Chapman guitars, we like to pay our respects to traditional spec guitars, but add a couple of modern features ergonomically so that it makes things a little bit easier to play. Something like this allows you to get up here and wail away on the top frets without really any problem, so it's awesome. And again, stainless steel frets across the Pro range, which is just something that I don't think anyone was going to complain about, because stainless steel frets, your strings are going to last longer, your frets are going to last longer, and you actually get more sustain, so it's a win-win. Following in suit, this is now the ML3 Traditional Standard, which is in this beautiful honeyburst colour, and I actually think it's a beautiful looking guitar. Features a flat top, and it's a hard lacquer. We've got a mahogany body on the back, maple neck, maple fretboard. Again, we've got the inlays so you can see what's happening if you're, you know, teaching or playing or watching someone else. And again, going back to the fact that we've tried to keep the playability and tone the same, these pickups have been specially voiced again to pay respect to those guitars of that era. And we've kept things like the brass saddles because that's really important to the sound of a traditional spec guitar. Other than that, it features a three-way toggle switch. We've got Chapman branded tuners, as you can see, looking really classy. And I just think, what a beautiful looking guitar, and for the price. Lastly, we've actually added an arm carve and a belly cut to this guitar. So, whereas in your traditional spec guitars, that might not have been a feature, we just think that we want to make sure that people that are playing these guitars a lot and gigging, it just caters for that. It's a real player's guitar across the range. So the ML3 Modern Standard features flame maple veneer, maple binding, hardtail, double humbucker. We've voiced these humbuckers to be of modern sort of trend, so they're a little bit raunchy, a little bit more grunty in the mid-range. So for all the guys that are like playing heavier hard rock and metal, gonna sound really good. Ebony fretboard, maple neck. Something worth pointing out as well is that we've actually created a really nice sort of gloss black headstock finish, just because I think it really follows in suit with the hard lacquer features of all the standard range. So I think this just completes the guitar from head to toe, as it were. Okay, so moving on from the ML3 Modern Standard, I'm holding the ML3 Modern Pro. This looks quite similar to all you guys that may be familiar with the ML3 RC. So we've kept the same sort of colour. This is black cherry. Very similar in terms of looks, but it's a lot lighter and it's a little bit thinner in the body. Features a carved mahogany top, we've got mahogany body, set through construction with mahogany neck, and we actually went for black hardware, and I think it just really adds to this guitar. Open cog hitshot tuners, we've got the glow in the dark side dots again, ebony board, stainless steel frets, and we've rolled the edges of the fretboard. Double humbucker, these are ceramic voice, these are the passive aggressives, but we've refined the tone of these pickups a little bit in terms of the output, and just generally how they sound and how they look. As you can see here, we've got little Chapman Guitars logos, and we've got Allen pole pieces, Allen wrench pole pieces, which I think just look good and they look modern. I just think, again, if you're into modern music, heavy music, you know, anything remotely metal, I think this guitar looks the part, and it definitely sounds the part.
So you all are familiar with the Ghost Fret, I think. It's one of the most successful guitars Chapman Guitars has released over the last few years, and I think, as I said before, it really marks a level of design that we thought would be amazing to kind of implement across the entire range. So this is the Ghost Fret. It's slightly refined in colour. This is a colour again called Dusk, the same as the ML2 Pro Modern that we showed just now, in a kind of blue fade. So there is a fade in the middle there. This is similar spec to the last one, but with a few upgrades. We have the ebony cap on the headstock here, similarly with other guitars in the range. Open gear hipshot tuners, and neck through construction, as you'll be familiar with the original Ghost Fret. Really refined, and we're really happy with it. But it also comes in two finishes as well, and the other finish is magnificent. This is Luna, as in Lunar, which is the name for our black guitars. So as you can see, it's a slight upgrade from the original Ghost Fret in terms of the black finish. We've used an entirely different black paint that we've developed with our factory to give you a really true black, which features across the Pro range. So this has kind of a black to slight grey fade across the middle, really showing off the solid flame maple arch top. Again, same spec as the blue, but this time we've painted the wings black, which I think really adds some definition between the neck through and the wings, and really at an angle the binding just screams. It's great. So you asked us for a cheaper Ghost Fret, we have provided. This is the Black Blood Ghost Fret in the standard range. It's a black to red fade, nice binding here with a black back and a gloss finish, featuring our Chapman branded tuners, and this is a maple neck, ebony board, again fret markers on the front and the top, so you can, it's useful for anyone teaching, learning, and just generally playing. Again, amazing guitar, Comes in two finishes, Black Blood and Luna. This is the all-anticipated ML-V. I mean, what can I say? You asked for a purple V in these specs, and we have provided. This is a satin finish, purple V. We've called it Iris, and it fades from a really deep and dark purple right through the middle into a really nice, rich satin finish. Similar in construction to Ghost Fret, we have a 10mm solid flame maple arch top, which is book matched. So we have an incredible deep grain, which the satin finish really shows. Similarly, for the rest of the Pro range, stainless steel frets, glow-in-the-dark side markers. This time we have locking tuners. It is a natural mahogany back. We have strap locks, and what we did is we placed the output jack and the top strap here. We put it right up here so that when you're playing live or when you're playing anywhere really, you can plug it in, wrap it around your strap, and it doesn't get in the way. This features a 5-way blade, volume and tone, and a Floyd Rose 1000 series with a locking nut and the ebony cap, as is on the rest of most of the rest of the Pro range, and the ebony truss rod cover here. These are some specifically designed Chapman humbuckers, which sound amazing. Bia will show you how amazing in just a second. So in the true spirit of surprise, which we've tried to achieve with this range, you guys voted for purple was top, black was a really close second, and we've done this before with other guitars, but we thought, why not do both? So this is the Lunar Ghost Fret, this is Iris, but they both look absolutely amazing.
So, at this point, I am extremely excited and proud to introduce my new signature models, which some of you have been anticipating and I've been harking on about for the last however long. But we're finally here. So, first of all, I'm going to show you the 25.5-inch scale version. This is the main model that I'll probably be touring a lot, and I'm so happy with it. So, in a nutshell, alder body, 5mm flame maple cap, this beautiful smoke burst colour, which we spent a long time over, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out. This features a tremolo system. We've got custom voiced humbuckers here with a custom cover that looks quite similar to some of my favourite humbuckers that I use. This features, at the moment, we've got a Seymour Duncan, pearly gates in the neck, 5-way blade. And some of you have asked, why move away from the Floyd Rose? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't actually use the Floyd Rose as much anymore, but I still find the benefits in having a trem system. So I wanted something that was a little less risky when you're doing long tours, and if you snap a string, it's not just going to go massively out of tune. So that's why I got rid of the Floyd Rose, but I did keep the tremolo system. But just to add to the stability of the tuning, we added locking tuners. So although we don't have a locking nut, you still have locking at the top of the guitar. So the tuning stability so far is incredible. Another cool feature about this guitar that I'm really happy about is the solid Padauk 3-piece neck. The reason I chose Padauk, not only tonally, but for tonal reasons, it's a bit snappier than mahogany, it's a little bit denser, but also it's incredibly stable. So I can travel all over the world with this guitar, and I won't really have to do any truss rod adjustment, which for me is great. I've got an ebony board, 22 frets, stainless steel frets with the rolled edges, and I guess I love it so much. So the original prototype featured a flame veneer, and something that I wanted to try out, not only for tonal reasons but visually, was a maple cap. So we've actually added a full thick 5mm maple cap around the whole guitar, and I think it's just beautiful. It really, but it's so three-dimensional. I'm really happy with it. I've often referred to these models as the evil twins. The reason being is not only do they look badass, but there's also a slightly longer scale, darker, meaner brother to that guitar, and this is the ML3B baritone. I've wanted a baritone for years, and I'm so happy that I got to bring one out. This, very much like the other guitar in terms of features, we have an alder body, the same 5mm thick Canadian flame maple cap. We've got the Badook neck, ebony boards, stainless steel frets, locking tuners. We've got a hardtail bridge on this, and then the main difference is of course the scale length, featuring a massive whopping 28-inch scale guitar. Reason being is I didn't want any limitations in terms of tuning stability, so I can tune down to low E if I really wanted, and it would still be nice and stable. So it's absolutely brutal sounding, again with the custom spec ceramic pickup. Roughly around 18k output. This thing screams and it sounds demonic, so I'm excited, I don't need to tell.
Across this whole entire range of Chapman guitars, Pro and Standard, we've basically spent a lot of time developing specific voice pickups for every single guitar, and that's every model is voiced completely differently. This is an example. This is a Chapman Guitars humbucker. The Pros have the logo on the front, which you might have noticed, but all feature a nice logo and black backplate. The reason for the black backplate is we wanted to make, we don't really use pickup rings, so this gives a bit more of a subtle look on the front, which I think I'm super chuffed with how these have come out. One thing, from a retail point of view and a price point of view, it's using other brands' pickups adds a huge cost to the price of the guitar. So we thought if we develop our own pickups, we can still retain that price point and that really good value instrument that we've kind of pioneered for so long, and really stick to that. Part of the original ethos of Chapman was to offer a blank canvas, so you could upgrade all the components as much as you wanted. This time we've kind of taken a bit of a different angle. Whilst having our own pickups means that there isn't another brand taking a cut, so it keeps the retail price down and still provides that really good value instrument that we really fundamentally want to do. All the pickups are voiced specifically for every single model in the range, and this has taken us a long time, way more than we've ever done, to test, to prototype all of these pickups, and hopefully you'll be able to buy them in individual units soon. Last thing, Rob, I hope you like him.
Yeah.
Rob's not here.
No,
he's
not.
having a child, so congratulations, dude. But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed what we've showed you. This has been such a lot of work. We're a tiny team. We haven't been bought by Gibson. We haven't been bought by anyone. No. We are 4 or 5 guys working as hard as we can, really trying to fulfill like the concept of what we started. And thanks for your patience over the last year. It's taken such a lot of blood, sweat and tears, and
particularly Matt's tears.
And our amazing designer Johnny, I've got to say. And there's only a few of us, and yeah, it's just thanks for the support. It does mean everything. So every comment, every positive comment, just really works. So thanks.